Hello, hello, you most beautiful stars. Good morning, happy Friday. Yes, I'm kind of tired, everybody. I have a bit of a headache this morning, which is fine because all that energy yesterday with the eclipse and the new moon in Aries and stuff going into retrograde. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know that there is a pre-retrograde always that people also experience. They just don't acknowledge it. Um, so, and honestly, retrogrades used to not bother me at all until I started the YouTube-ness. um, as I'm kind of babbling to see folks come in. Good morning, happy Friday, you beautiful stars. Um, we are going back to finish my Hermetic stuff. Good morning, Miss Chloe. Which is awesome and good. We are in correspondence. And I'll tell you guys, I don't really prepare for this stuff that much, to tell you the truth. Especially not right now. I'm very busy. No, I guess that's the card for us. I don't know why. Oh, Chloe just asked how my fair's going. It's next Saturday, my dear. That's how it's going. That's how it's going. Thank you, Miss Chloe, for asking. There's always a lot of moving parts. And I'm glad we're in correspondence today because correspondence in Hermetics is as above, so below, as below, so above. And I'll be talking about it, of course. Because just about 10 minutes ago I went, what am I doing? I'm doing correspondence? Okay, let's flip through and see what we're talking about. I kind of decided it's such a big thing that I'm probably gonna do what I do today, and then when we meet up again, I'll have to probably still be in correspondence. It's a very, very big concept that takes quite a while to get to. But it's a part of the fair as well, as above, so below, as below, so above. There's a lot of moving parts. Lots of moving parts, lots of different energy, lots of aspects. And yesterday I had told everybody that I was going to sit under my pyramid and ground a lot of stuff and send love and light out to a lot of stuff. And I sent a lot of stuff to an event that is happening in the future next Saturday, New Earth Energy Market, April 29th. Big holistic cultural fair festival, all right, happening in Ringgold, Georgia. So knowing Hermetics, like I said, I didn't even really, guys, I do know this stuff. Knowing how it works and operates, I send love and light to the future. I understand how all the energy has to circulate and move around. I understand as above, so below, as below, so above. There's a reason why New Age added so within, so without, because the OG, the original Hermetics, didn't say that, because it was already assumed, because all is mind. We're going to talk about it today. So yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm going to wake up that morning real early and have a very, very long day. But it'll be good. Here's the thing, everyone. Right now, so 2023, as we keep talking about 2023, all of 2023, I'm going to just keep talking about it. It is us learning to stand and make a stand in our power, in our own energy as individuals. No, sorry. And it is spring in the south. Whew. Sorry. As we stand as individuals in our own birthright of our power as humans, but at the same time we're doing that collectively as unity begins. I've said it a million times. It's like I say a lot of things, so I get it. I say a lot of things. It's hard to follow Courtney. I say a lot of things. it's humanity is going to begin to start taking care of humanity. Humanity taking care of humanity as we individually stand in our own power. So a lot of April, a lot of end of April, post yesterday, really, there was a lot that happened yesterday, very galactically, as above, so below, as below, so above. Galactically, that a lot of the representation is for unity of us humans. And so that is what this fair is about. That is what the majority of what I do is really, it's really that. I'm really trying to do that, folks. So it is going to be a lovely time. It is definitely going to be a lovely time. It's a whole array of great mixture of people and performances and booths, and it's a great time. New Earth Energy Market. That is exactly what it is. And for all you lovely people too that can't attend, I will be posting videos, and also like we'll probably be having like free online summits of videos of all these people talking about things. I mean, market is market, but market is a big word. There's a lot that goes into it, energetically even speaking. New Earth Energy Market, there's a lot of principles that we're trying to uphold with events like this. So, and all that will happen in the future. So, yeah, it's going. Thank you, Miss Chloe. Guys, you can send as much love and light to that as you would like. So yes, I am a bit tired. I am a bit tired. I am a bit, I just got a lot going on. Speaking of which, so because it's next Saturday, I will not be here next Friday at 11. I am going to do my Wednesday show with Edgar Casey at 2 p.m. I am going to do that, but I will not be here next Friday. It's the day before. I'm sure I'll have enough. I'm sure I'll have enough going on, folks. So I appreciate you all. Today we are going to jump into correspondence. There's so many parts to it. I think for many people, including myself, because I remember when I first started studying, I remember a lot of the principles, a lot of the Hermetics, I mean, it just boom, boom, clicked. Yeah, I mean, it was clicking, right? It's fine. As above, so below, as below, so above was actually probably the hardest for me to wrap my mind around. And we are going through the 7 principles, but we started at the back end of it, the last one, and we're working our way up. Because the first one is all is mind. That's the biggest and the most powerful thing that anyone can grasp. And to do that, we really got to look at all the other ones. But because we're getting real close to that one, it's getting a little bit more, harder for, some to grasp. It is a big concept, guys. Correspondence is everything. It is actually how the all operate. And because there's, right now, when I talk about that unification, it's that unification of humans, humanity taking care of humanity, but also acknowledging and unifying themselves with the all. With the all. And so that's why in 2023, yeah, we're going to be hearing a lot more galactic stuff, right? That's why technology is going to be in our face. That's why 3D is working real hard to keep us separated. That's why 3D is working real hard to bring up all these topics like technology, like AI, like aliens, like this, like that, like war, all this stuff. They're to downplay, to put in all that fear, to keep the unification of humans away from the all. Because once you see the all, once you understand the all, and you begin to work towards unifying yourself with that all, the all, I mean, that's not just humans, that's cosmic all. That's anything, really, as we're going to talk about today, below the Great Spirit. Anything of creation, period. Stars, planets, galactic, earth, below, all of it, in, out, all of it, the all, the all, God, source, all of it, demigods, all of it. Once you can really see that, there's really no going back. There's no going back. It all clicks. It all happens. The Great Spirit is a part of it. But what Chloe just asked, is the Great Spirit not a part of it? Yes. I was trying to reference, like how we might talk about that, the original, like in the Bible it says the word. In other texts it says the first thought. In Hermetics, it's as we're going to read a bit today, it's the light. Okay, so that is what is referenced as Great Spirit. That is what is referenced as maybe the waters of creation is referenced as Great Spirit. Same as like if you read the Nag Hammadi scriptures, they refer to it as like the waters of creation, right? So anything that came from that original thought, that also is the original of cause and effect, right? All of that. So let's say all of that, okay, is the all, and including the Great Spirit, because the Great Spirit is within all of that. That's how we ourselves are gods as well, because we have the Great Spirit within us, because we are of creation. It gets very, very big. So yes, Chloe, I was trying to actually bring it down a little bit so people could just even be like, oh, we're a part of the cosmos. Oh, we're a part of all these other connecting parts. Because to get to that, yes, that's the main goal. That's really the main goal, that there is no separation. But that's why I think correspondence is going to be a little bit of a, maybe it might be a 2-3-parter. I don't know, because there's a lot. Remember how I asked everybody here, and if you're new here, welcome to Stars on Morning Light. We talk about a lot of amazing stuff here. Remember I think it was a few weeks ago, so when I was studying this stuff, I realized, because I had to ask somebody, I'm like, I don't know why people aren't getting it. But it's because I started a long time ago, and like I said, once you see the all, it clicks, and it's like I forgot how I got here or something. You know what I mean? Like, I forgot that I did study and did all this stuff. So somebody mentioned to me, because it's too vast. Like, it's so big. How do we wrap our head around it? And I remember I asked you guys, you beautiful stars, one of the things that I did when I first started studying was to imagine that every single cell in my body, okay, is potentially another plane of existence, or potentially another dimension, or potentially another universe, potentially another being of creation out there. All of it, right? Like, to the amount of cells that I have in my body is the amount of beautiful beings and stars out there. And just as how my cells communicate, just as how my cells work together, just how my cells, if you need some of my cells, maybe you can have some of them, right? Like, there is no separation, is what I'm trying to say. It's that when they say those words of like, an entire universe lives within you. The entire universe lives within you. Well, I added to that and was like, yeah, universes we don't even know. Beings we don't even know. Dimensions we don't even know. All lives within me. It's all in me and I am in it. And I spent great time to the literally the amount of cells, which I don't even know how many cells anymore a human body has. But I meditated on that for a very, very long time and asked for guidance in that concept to expand my mind and expand my awareness and knowledge of really the all. And I needed to do that while I was studying this stuff. And that was my approach. So go ahead and use that if you would like, because yeah, Chloe, there is no separation from anything. I was just trying to, I mean, most people can't even, like I said, in 2023, I mean, we're still working on ourselves, standing for ourselves and our power and accepting ourselves fully and being who we are, your birthright as a human, you beautiful, amazing being, into, okay, our unit, our tribe, our family, whatever you want to call it, and then community, right? Because most people can't even get past or through community to understand how all things are connected. I mean, they're still working at possibly community. So to grasp the concept of the all is pretty pretty intensive for people, and I get it. I mean, I get it. It is. And like I said, once you see it, which the potentiality of you seeing it in 2023 is present, especially the end of April, like my events, that's why I'm doing it that way, into May and June. The potential of you seeing and experiencing the all is mind, and witnessing it is very, very present, especially if you're operating in observer mode and in compassion. Very present. We're going to see how, if people use the opportunity for that more so in May and June, which will possibly change the cause, which changes all the effects for July, August, and September. I'm hoping that made sense. We'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about that as we enter May. Yep, there was a lot going on galactically yesterday. So, correspondence, folks. The card that came out, and I will tell you, it's, yes, Chloe, both. Seeing yourself in everything, seeing how everything is, there is no separation, seeing how everything's within you, that you are in everything. Absolutely no separation. And literally, it was a good question. I agree. Thank you, Chloe. And I'm happy we're doing this, because honestly, now that I think about it, it's maybe I'll take some time with correspondence and all his mind, all his mentalism, like the majority of May, to tell you the truth. Maybe that's how I'll roll. There is no separation, and so there is the potentiality for all humans right now to, in their meditations, in even their walking around life, in the observer mode and being in compassion, to start witnessing how there is no separation. To start witnessing and so visibly seeing it, especially in meditations, how there is none. You are in all things are in you, and vice versa with everybody else. Everybody in the chat, me, everything. Right. And when more individuals can start seeing that, I should say, more into. Yes, Chloe, it does. Yes. Okay, so Chloe, everybody that's listening to me, Chloe just said in the chat, for her, that equals love. And that is the truth, sweetheart. That is the truth. That is how you create the new world. That is how you do move up in frequency and dimensional thinking and out of 3D, is because the all, well, there's the laws in the all as well. And so the more of us, the more individuals that can see and feel the all, and this is why it gets easier to have compassion. This is how it becomes easier to experience the love. And also I will tell you, I guess I'm just going on a free rant right now, which is fine because Chloe asked a lot of good questions. So a lot of people talk about the detachment. I've gotten this question the past couple of months. The detachment that is semi-needed for higher frequency. I mean, you can't have higher frequency and be trying to immerse yourself in 3D. It just doesn't work, right? And that's why I'll say stuff like I don't worry about anything, right? It's because of a level of detachment. The reason I can do that is because you can detach yourself from all the 3D worries and fears and loneliness. I mean, 3D loneliness is horrible, by the way. For me, when I first started my journey many, many moons ago, or I guess you would say a big level up of my journey, that was what I first acknowledged, was like, wow, everybody seems to have this deep cut, this deep hole, this deep pain of loneliness because they're separate. You know, a lot of beliefs will say because you're separated from God. That's what it really is that you think you're separated from the all. There is no loneliness when you see how there is no separation. So, anyways, when you start really seeing it and experiencing and knowing it, operating in it, and the laws within it, right? Because everything operates in some of these cosmic laws. We're going to talk about that today. That when you start doing that, there does become a level of detachment that is present. That's why when you talk about these masters or you read about these masters, it's like, yeah, they go into the wilderness for days and meditate, or Buddha on the mountaintop meditating for a day. There's a level of detachment, but it's not just physical, it's also mental, spiritual, all of it, because they're detaching from 3D. And with that, going back to Chloe saying that she thinks that represents, when you can see that it is love, that it's the all is actually love, that it's the only true reality, because we're creating reality all the time, that the one thread throughout that is always in existence is love. It's easier to detach from even those that you love, and detach doesn't mean like you don't talk to them, you don't marry them, you don't have a family. It doesn't mean that. It means that once you see and feel and experience the love of all of creation, of all of mind, once you feel and experience that, it's very hard to then live in a 3D mindset of us versus them. This is mine, not yours. It's very difficult because it's not healthy. The all is love, and so you do detach some, because for you, then it ends up being, there's no difference between loving a spouse or a child or a partner or what have you. That love is the same equivalent to loving someone you don't even know. That's the magnitude of the love that is within the all. We just don't know that because so many people are still viewing and seeing, experiencing the 3D. But the love that you have for a stranger, the love that you have for beings that you don't even know, the love that you have for the planet, for other planets, for other parts of the world, for all of it, individuals, collectively, the love that you have for that is the equivalent to the love that you do have for a child or a spouse or a parent, right? That there is, you see that there is no actual separation in that either. So when I say detachment, I mean you're seeing the expansion that detaches you from the separation of 3D. I'm hoping all that made sense. So yes, Chloe, love. Love. Love, 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 love. So this card jumped out. I'm going to read it now. Number 34, passion. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. This card wanted to be present today, passion. I think I know why it came out, but it also might be because of what we just talked about. That's beautiful. I'm going to read that one more time. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion. Guys, everybody's very intense right now because of the energies, right? So remember that. Beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. So even though everybody appears crazy right now, because they're getting hit, remember, this is why we talk about having compassion for self and others, because there's a whole lot of people out there that are experiencing the same kind of intensity of the energies right now, because it's a galactic, cosmic thing going on, that they don't know that though. They don't know that. They know they're stressed, they're tired, they're angry, they're lonely, they're fearful, they're just burnt out. That's what they feel. So beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. I do want to put out there that that plays into the ego. Ego is not bad. Ego lets us know, like, whoa, that's a boundary of mine. And usually, when we are angry or fearful or something, is because there's a boundary that has been crossed. And it could happen on a big social plane or just an individual. That is an indication that something's not right for the core of who you are. So when it is intense emotion like that, that's why they're talking about insight, balance, returning back to the calm of your core, because it gives you that wisdom of going, okay, I'm really upset right now or intense about something because it doesn't suit my core. So pay attention, but also know that everybody else is going through stuff like that right now. This is those storms that we've been talking about in 2023, and it's gonna pick up. I also said in one of the last videos that whenever there's an eclipse, solar or lunar, definitely solar though, I will tell you that, definitely solar, that is supposed to be a respite for us in that little time period, or to tell us, to remind us, you need to rest because energy is about to start flying. So do know that those storms that we keep talking about, that we're in the eye of, that we're watching with our eye, we're gaining different kind of perspective, because perspective is creation for us, because all matter is energy, and if we see it, it exists. Moving around in those storms, do know that that's going to start picking up even more so. And that's what those eclipses tell us. Okay, let's get into correspondence, folks. Oh my goodness. Who knows? I'm so tired. This might get a little wacky. This might get a little wacky. Or I'll just start babbling a whole bunch of stuff. It's funny because I reference, I refer to myself as babble, right? Like I'm babbling, but I think everyone that is here and knows me, that it's not babble. It's actually not babble. The way I present it, I try to present it in common generalities and ways for you guys to understand. But sometimes I just go off and start talking about things that just to try to just see where everybody is. So I did want to say this. I don't want to forget that part. So correspondence. We're going to be talking about some of the different planes, but I think we might just stick with one of the planes today. Correspondence is where we get that saying, as above, so below, as below, so above. That's the Hermetics. New Age. You guys know I sometimes I'm like, oh, New Age. I see why, but is it needed? New Age added the as within, so without, because they're trying to sum up the all is mind, the all is mentalism for this principle. So that's cool. I actually don't mind that. So it would read then, as above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without. I'm cool with that. What I'm not cool with, folks, is what happens with New Age is that then parts start getting lost. And people, I mean, you hear it all over. You know, watch, I don't do TikTok, but you could be watching anything, scrolling through, and somebody's talking about it, and the majority of the world now says, as above, so below, as within, so without. And they leave it there. That's what they think it is. I mean, if you ask somebody on the street, that's what they would tell you this principle was, and that's not accurate. That's what happens when New Age. That's what happens with New Age. I don't know what else to say. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing that they added that. What happens is that we lose our dialogue. We lose our full meaning of things over time. And honestly, this is not just New Age. Go back to ancient texts. We've lost a whole bunch of that. Example. Who cares if we believe it or not? Take the Ten Commandments, right? This is just an example, even out of ancient texts. Take the Ten Commandments. If you ask somebody right now on the street, what's the first commandment? They would most likely say, thou shalt not kill. I shit you not. Ask around. Just so you can, help me prove my point here. If you ask people, just random, hey, do you know what the first commandment is? the majority, depending on your location, really, but the majority would say, "Thou shalt not kill." I have to tell folks that's like number 6. That's how much society and us humans change what is talked about, what is even read. I mean, it's so interesting. What is, and because of verbal communication, that then becomes more fact than what is actually in the text. So yeah, thou shalt not kill is not number 1, but everybody's gonna tell you it is, and it's like, no, man, that's like number 6. It's way down the line. Same with the Hermetic principles. Everybody has left out as below, so above, and we need not to do that at all, because we're a part of the all. What happens here affects up there, and vice versa. So, very much so, guys. Very, very, very much so. So that's why I get passionate about the accuracy of words and texts and what is said amongst us humans, because I know how bad it actually gets out there with people just leaving stuff out. And it's in this regard to the principle of correspondence, that's huge. And what saddens me is that everybody that, you're scrolling through, somebody says it, they completely ignore, as below, so above, completely ignore that. That's ignoring our power. That's why I get frustrated. That's ignoring how much humans contribute to the all. I mean, that's why I get really frustrated about it. It's just why, it's once again giving our power to something else, not seeing that it's all connected, that we are of the all. So that's where my frustration comes from. And it is because somewhere in the New Age, they threw in that extra layer of as within, so without, so people could understand mentalism. And then over time, it dropped off as below, so above. When I'm going to tell you guys, a whole lot of galactic stuff, a whole lot of, I guess I'm just rambling, a whole lot of galactic, there was just a galactic meeting yesterday. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about here. A whole lot that is determined amongst what we're going to read about today in Hermes, and in the Corpus Hermetica, like the demigods, the in the stars, the planets, everything. So much that is determined with what happens with them, who are much greater frequency and quote unquote ascended beings, much greater than us humans. So much that happens with them is determined by us. And so much that happens with us is kind of determined on where they think we are. Can you believe that? That's how much power humans have. That's why in one of my last messages, I was saying humans, the origin of human does not have sin. We don't. We need to stop thinking that way. We don't. We were created to take care of the first feminine born. The first child, really. Gaia came before man. She is the firstborn. That's what our goal was. That's what our goal originally was. And it's still that. And we are way more powerful than we give it away. That is still what we are meant to do, is to take care of the firstborn, Gaia. That's what we're supposed to do. And we've completely lost that. And we've completely given our power over to 3D and the fog, the forgetfulness, sane, I don't care how you want to describe it. We've completely done that. And the problem is, guys, is that that's our main job. And how we do that is taking care of each other while taking care of her. There is actually no sin in the original human. And we don't know it. And so what happens down here affects up there. What happens up there is determined by what we are doing down here. It's very, very, it's a much bigger scale. And, and the majority can't even get through uniting a community, let alone sustainability, humanity, caring for humanity. Now you're getting my passion, and watch me start crying. You guys got me when I'm tired, and then the card Passion came out, and you got me talking about stuff. Whew. It's okay, I've cried here a million times, it's fine. I'm very passionate about it. Intense emotions. So that's why. That's why I wish more people would stop dropping saying as below, so above. Because it is so important. And says because we stopped saying that is when we just allowed other things to control us. So, whew. The great second Hermetic principle embodies the truth that there is a harmony agreement, a correspondence between several planes of manifestation, life, and being. I have to read that again. The second Hermetic principle embodies the truth that there is a harmony agreement and correspondence between the several planes of manifestation, life, and being. That harmony is what Chloe was talking about, the love of the all. This truth is a truth because all that is included in the universe emanates from the same source, and the same laws, principles, and characteristics apply to each unit or combination of units of activity, such manifests its own phenomena upon its own plane. For the purpose of convenience of the thought and study of Hermetic philosophy, considers that the universe may be divided into three great classes of phenomena, known as the three great planes. 1. The great physical plane. 2. The great mental plane. 3. The great spiritual plane. That's your pyramid. There's a reason why a pyramid is now known. I'm glad we're remembering this now, and science has proven it, right? There's a reason why this shape, structure, geometry is of perfect peace, perfect harmony, perfect healing, perfect energy. There's a reason, because it holds all three of those planes in one. The great physical plane, the great mental plane, the great spiritual plane. The three great planes may be regarded as three great groups of degrees of life manifestation. While the purposes of this little book is to not allow us to enter into an extended discussion of or explanation of the subject of these different planes, still we think it well to give a general description of the same at this point. So I'm going to kind of breeze through this in a little bit, but because we talk so much about it here at Stars of the Morning Light, I know that my general viewers do understand this, and the reason I don't want to go into a whole bunch of the differences is because I'm going to focus on, I think, probably more of the spiritual one today. Okay, but I'm going to have to kind of talk about all of them. We're going to keep going back to correspondence, like I said. And I also do want you guys to know, in this book, it says that there is a fourth dimension, the dimension of vibration. It is a fact well known to modern science, as well as the Hermeticists, who have embodied the truth in their third Hermetic principle, that everything is in motion, everything vibrates, everything is at rest. From the highest manifestation to the lowest, everything and all things vibrate, which is what we covered last week. Not only do they vibrate at different rates of motion, but as in different directions and in a different manner. The degrees of the rate of vibration constitutes the degrees of measurement of the scale of vibrations. And in order, or in other words, the degrees of the fourth dimension, and these degrees from which occultists call planes, the higher the degree of rate of vibration, the higher the plane, the higher the manifestation of life occupying that plane. So that while the plane is not a place, nor yet a state of condition, yet poses qualities common to both. We shall have more to say, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So, we have the great plane of physical, the great plane of mental, the great plane of spiritual. Also, they want to go in there about the fourth dimension. Vibration. That's what they refer to it as. That moves throughout all of it, because everything is energy, everything is frequency, everything is vibration. That is how matter comes into being. That is how all things come into being, right? And we talk a lot in my Patreon, at least we have, about, quote unquote, the fourth dimension, how that is a mental kind of moving back and forth area from 3 to 5. In 4, you're kind of jumping back and forth. This is how we get more humans have the possibility in the next few months to see the all, because they're hanging out more in a better vibration than 3. They're doing 4. They're jumping more into 5. Oh my goodness. They get to see more stuff, feel more stuff, experience more stuff because of vibration. It's you're moving in this circular pattern because everything is a circular creation. All matter is that. You are that. All energy is that. Your timeline is that. Everything is that. I will also tell you, well, maybe I'll leave that for another plane of time. But everything moves in a circular motion in creation, and therefore 4 is you just kind of going up and down, into 3, into 5, up and down, because you're getting your vibration higher. And the more you practice that, the higher it'll get, the higher you'll get, the higher it'll get. You will kindly remember, however, that the 3 great planes are not actual divisions of the phenomena of the universe, but merely terms used by the Hermeticists in order to aid in the thought and study of the various degrees and forms of universal activity in life. The atom of matter, the unit of force, the mind of man, and the being of the archangel are all but degrees in one scale, and all fundamentally the same. The difference between solely a matter of degree and a rate of vibration. All are creations of, big capital letters, the all, and have their existence solely within the infinite mind of the all. The infinite mind of the all. So it's saying, even though we're saying, okay, the physical plane, the mental plane, the spiritual plane, they're all in the same, right? They're all in the same. Same as, this is why I get to say what I say, they said the atom of matter, so matter, this cup, the book I'm reading, matter, you, me, Gaia, all of it, the atom of matter, the unit of force, the mind of man, and the being of archangel, and the beings that are referenced as archangels, are all but degrees in one scale, and all fundamentally the same. The only difference is the degree and rate, the rate of the vibration. As above, so below, as below, so above. That's why I have no problem saying I'm a God. I have no problem. You want to call me an angel? You want to call me a saint? I don't care. We're all that. There is absolutely no separation other than vibration. Get your vibes up, folks. Get your vibes up. That's all it is. Because you are the all. Everybody's the all. Everything is the all. All are creations of the all. Oh my God, the infinite mind of the all. This is how I can say what I say, and I have no problem saying it. You know, man, there's people, you guys have no idea how many times I'll be in groups of people, I'll be like, yeah, I'm a God. And the looks that they give me, if I say it more, then I get an opportunity to explain to them that so are you. You're an angel. You're a galactic being. You're a this. We're all in one. We're all in one. Okay, so then they go into the seven minor planes, and that's more for like matter and substance and the physical. So like the physical has 7 minor ones. They break that down into, plant, animal, the different categories. Also the ethereal substance that really we create from. But I kind of am not trying to get to the physical or the mental. I think I'm going to do that next time because they also break down the mental into different planes. So that will come in later because I do want to go to the spiritual ones. As to why I can be like, I'm a God. Oh, you guys can laugh, man. We have a good time. And the more people, and that's it too. I'm not on some weird stuff of like, I'm a God and you are all my children and now this is a cult and it's gotten very weird and sick. No. No, not at all. I just know there's no separation. I know there's no separation at all. So why would I not reference myself as that? Especially when we're here to do better. We're here to help humanity in the earth. Why would I not reference myself as that when that's really what we were intended to be? Great little mini gods taking care of Gaia. On the 7 minor planes of great spiritual plane exist beings of whom we speak as angels, archangels, demigods. On the lower minor planes dwell those great souls whom we call masters. Above them come the great angelic hosts, unthinkable to man, and above those come those whom many without whatever, they refer to them as gods. So high on the scale of being are they, their being, intelligence, and power be akin to those attributed by the races of men to their concepts of divinity. Sorry, this is not written well to read out loud. Very, very good. I will tell you, most occult books, the way they're written, they really need to be read quietly to one's own self, because it's taken in differently. So to read it out loud, the flow is different when you're reading it to yourself. Same with like Manly P. Hall. Most of the occult literature is. So these beings are beyond even the highest flights of the human imagination. The word divine being the only one appropriate to them, right? That we can really use. Many of these beings, as well as the angelic hosts, take the greatest interest in the affairs of the universe and play an important part in its affairs. These unseen deities and angelic helpers extend their influence freely and powerfully in the process of evolution and cosmic progress. Their occasional intervention and assistance in human affairs have led to many legends, beliefs, religions, and traditions of race, past and present. They have superimposed their knowledge and power upon the world again and again, all under the law of the all. But yet, even the highest of these advanced beings exist merely as creations of and in the mind of the all, and are subject to the cosmic processes and universal laws. They are still mortal. They are still mortal. We may call them gods if we like, but still they are but the elder brethren of the race, the advanced souls who have outstripped their brethren and who have foregone, who have made, okay, so I'm just going to stop reading, and this is what goes into, because I'm going to go to the Corpus Hermetica. This is exactly what I was trying to say. This is why I wanted to start here, especially because of yesterday. They just listed a whole bunch of beings, from human to masters to angelic hosts to demigods to archangels to divinity, the divine. And they just said, these that we call divine, they are still mortal. They influence a lot of what has always happened with us, but we also influence them because they are mortal. The process, the cosmic process within the universal laws, that's why I'm trying to actually say cosmic laws, because it's not just our universe, because they are in a process as well. Yeah, they're in a process as well. Yeah, I said it. They're in a process as well. As above, so below. As below, so above. And this is how. And they just said, there's nothing that separates us from them because they too are working within the laws. They too are part of that infinitive mind, that mind, the great mind, the great I am that we all are, the mind of the all. They are still a part of that. We are a part of it. This is how I can say what I'm saying. We're going to move to the Corpus Hermetica. Because everybody wants to be like, where's this stuff come from? What's going on? What's happening here? So, I hope everybody can start believing they're mortal. I think a lot of people don't realize that. They can die. They can get blown up. There's been wars all the time. I know months ago I decided to go off about some of the galactic wars that influence down here as we influence up there. As in, Orion still seems... I still have issues towards Orion. Still have some issues there. In my mortal sense, I still have some issues. Tricky, wanting to influence, wanting to make themselves the ultimate. Yeah, still have some issues there with that. Because there is no ultimate. The all is the ultimate. The all is. Oh, I love you guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I hope this is resonating in some way, shape, or form. That maybe this weekend, because this energy is so powerful, even through this weekend and moving forward. Remember, that's why I said that's what eclipses are. It's a very big indication. Hey, y'all need to chill out for a minute because things are going to start rocking and rolling. So in that rocking and rolling, maybe take some time. Remember to relax, rest, breathe, go within, and think about this stuff. I mean, the more everybody else starts realizing that there's no separation, that you are just as powerful as anything else in creation, the more we can do what we were originally created to do. Let's just get back to the very original reason we were created. Oh my goodness. So, the Corpus Hermetica. This is the third little book within this. Very small read. And I'm going to read it all. This is the Holy Sermon. This is the Holy Sermon. So, Corpus Hermetica. I'm on page 30. The Holy Sermon. The glory of all things, God, and that which is divine, and the divine nature, the beginning of things that are. God and the mind, and nature, and matter, and movement, and necessity, and the end, and change. For there was in chaos, and in infinite darkness, in the abyss or bottomless depth, the water, the subtle in spirit, intangible in power. And there went out the holy light, and the elements were coagulated from the sand out of the moist substance. Okay, so at what I first read, he's basically trying to say everything. The glory of all things. God, that which is divine, the divine nature, the beginning of all things, the beginning of things that are. The beginning of things that are. That means everything. The beginning of things that are. God, the mind, the nature, the matter, and movement. Remember, movement is also vibration, and also rest, and necessity, and the end, and change. So everything, just he's trying to say everything. For there was in the chaos an infinite darkness in the abyss or bottomless depth. So how this reads is I'm going to put it in more plain English. So the chaos, that is infinite darkness, this abyss, this bottomless, depth, which is chaos. The water, this is the and the subtle in the spirit, intangible in power. So the water, that's why the Nagamati talks about how the Great Spirit is the waters of creation. How the plane of all infinite possibilities, like the Akashic, is very much kind of like water. How people talk about the waters of 5D. How people talk about in the new earth that it will be tangible. The water, the amount of water, and clean water and great water. This is why there's a turtle on my sign. I don't have my sign, but this is why for my New Earth Energy Market, there's a turtle to represent the ocean, water. Water is emotion with the passion that has the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. That everlasting wisdom that's actually filling up the waters of creation. That subtle spirit of power. And there went out the holy light, and the elements were coagulated from the sand out of the moist substance. That in all, Norse mythology, this is the fire and the ice, folks. The Nagamati, this would be the word. In Thoth, this is the light. This is the light that penetrated through thought. And I mean, all of creation stories. The holy light, also vibration, and the elements that it created along the way, creates in this moist substance, because there's a lot of moist substances. That is the ethereal plane that we're going to talk about when we get into the different mental planes. That is the ethereal. That moist substance that they all talk about in ancient texts, that's the ethereal. That's the ethereal. Definitely not the astral, by the way. That's the ethereal. That's where we can create form out of formless. That is where creation is. We take our thought, our vibration, our light, our word, however you want to describe it, and you mix it in with that ethereal substance, and poof! There's creation. That's what you want. And all of the gods, lower G, and all the gods distinguished the nature full of seeds. And when all things were determined and unraveled, the light things were divided on high, and the heavy things were found upon the moist sand. all things being terminated or divided by fire, and being sustained or hung up by the Spirit, they were so carried, and the heaven was seen in the 7 circles. So, and when all things were determined and unraveled, like, whoa, look at how thought, light, vibration, word can shoot right through this chaos abyss, this darkness, and start determining all of the things and making and unraveling, right? Well, the things of light, they were divided onto higher frequency, higher vibration, higher planes, higher dimensions. And the heavy things were found upon the moist sand. And which, guys, think of, we're heavy, man. With 3D's heavy, I'm going to tell you that. The heavy thing, gravity. The heavy things. The heavy things. Oh man, we're so heavy. You don't have to be so heavy. You can walk very gently on this land, and we don't have to be so heavy. The heavy things were found upon the moist sand, all things being terminated or divided by fire. So, ooh, this doesn't actually fit here. We're going to terminate it, burn it up. Alchemy. I've talked about alchemy so much here. That's why I have issues with terms being misused. Fire, the fire and ice, Norse. This all plays into it, guys. Trust me. I know what that Norse mythology. Norse mythology, though, man. Talk about the imagery in that. Like, oh yeah, they were taking some shrooms. God love. I can make fun of it because that's my people. Those are my people. I can make fun of it. So either terminated, burned up, like you're transmuted, or divided, like, hey, fire is going to push you into a different dimension. You're going over there. You're doing this. And being sustained, so either being in its place, sustained, or hung up by the Spirit, hung up, like how we see our universe. Whoa, those stars seem to be just hanging in that sky. They were so carried, and the heaven was seen in the 7 circles. That is the spiral going up the 7 circles. The 7, remember, I've talked about it a million times. The planes of consciousness, frequency is consciousness, and I've said it a million times. We only got to get to 7 and everything's gravy. We only got to get to 7. And heck, the majority are hanging out a whole lot of the time in 5. 6, guys, 6 is, as people might have questioned, it is you going through, we're going to go right through the sun. Welcome to that split, the great crack. We're good. Here's the new earth. I've seen what's on the other side. It's beautiful. Please don't worry about it. It's metaphorically, physically, mentally. We're not there yet, but we only got to get to 7. 6 is just a passageway that people need to not be afraid of. And we're good. And frequency. I mean, your frequency's got to be... I will tell you, to do that, to get on the other side, your frequency has to be not what the majority is, let's say. But heaven was seen in the 7 circles. 7th dimension, I told everybody. We only got to get to 7. After that, good times. And the gods were seen in their ideas of the stars. with all their signs, and all the stars were numbered with the gods in them. I might cry. And the sphere was all bordered with air, carried about in a circular motion by the Spirit of God. So the sphere is us, bordered with air. That's just our borders. That's just air. Let's go. And the gods, lowercase, and the gods were seen in their ideals. So each one has their own ideals, seen in their ideals of the stars. That goes from the zodiacs with all of their signs, and the stars were numbered with the gods in them. So you beautiful star, I am going to cry, I might as well just cry. You beautiful star, have all of the ideals of these gods in them. You numbered stars. You beautiful, beautiful stars. We are the representation of the stars. We are. We're the representation. We are, yes, do we see them? Yeah. And it's them staring back down at us. I mean, we are one and the same, and that's the representation of it. That's why this is Stars of the Morning Light. Stars of the New Dawn. Stars of Hope. I don't care what the words are. And the gods were seen in their ideals of the stars. The gods were seen in the ideals of the stars. The gods are seen within us. All of their ideals live within us, and we're supposed to be living them. Seen, witnessed, demonstrated, manifested. With all of their signs. Seen, witnessed, demonstrated, manifested. The gods' ideals within the stars. And the stars were numbered with the gods in them. In a sphere bordered by air, about a circular motion by the Spirit of God. Moving in a circular motion. And every god, by his internal power, did that which was commanded him. And there were made four-footed things, and the creepy things, and such as live in the water, and such as fly, and every fruitful seed, and grass, and flowers of all plants, and all which had sowed in themselves the seeds of regeneration. So by all these gods and their internal power that live inside of you, the stars, by their signs, we can see them. Created the four-legged, the creepy crawlies, the grass, the plants, all of it, and sowed in themselves the seeds of regeneration. As also the generations of man, to knowledge of the divine works and the living or working testimony of nature, and the multitude of men, and the domain of all things under heaven, and the knowledge of good things, and to be increased in increasing, and multiplied in multitude. This is why I can say, in the origin of man, there was no sin. There is no sin. As also the generations of men. So we also have the seeds of regeneration. We have the seeds of their power. To the knowledge of the divine works. So in these seeds of the generations of men, we have the knowledge of divine works and a living or working testimony of nature. A living or working testimony of nature. What we're supposed to be doing. And a multitude of men and the domain of all things under heaven. That is what our job was. Human. That's our job. That all things under heaven we take care of. We love, we nurture, and the knowledge of good things. Hence, we didn't have sin. And the knowledge of good things, and to be increased and increasing and multiply in multitude. Because this is a very big, beautiful firstborn that we are living on because we are heavy. Because we are heavy, that's why all the heavy things went down to the moist sand. We're supposed to increase because she's very big. We need to take care of her. And every soul in flesh, by the wonderful working of the gods in the circles, to the beholding of the heaven and the gods' divine works, and the operation of nature, and for signs of good things, and the knowledge of the divine power, and to find out every cunning working of good things. Cunning in today's language usually means bad. Cunning actually means like skilled. And to find out every skilled working of good things. So it begins to live in them, and to be wise according to the operation of the course of the circular gods, and to be resolved into that which shall be great monuments and the great memory of the skilled works done upon the earth, leaving them to be read by the darkness of times. So all of it, for every soul in flesh, by the wonderful workings of the gods in the circles, to beholding of heaven, we can hold heaven. The God's divine works and the operations of nature, that's a part of law, nature's law. We got it, we know it. And for the signs of the good things and the knowledge of the divine power, to find out every skilled working of the good things. So it begins to live in us. And to be wise according to the operation of the course of the circular gods. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Circular gods. The heavens. You can see them. The heaven was seen in the 7 circles. And the gods within them. In the circular gods, the frequencies, the vibrations, the dimensions. And to be resolved into that which shall be great monuments, and the memory of skilled works done upon the earth, leaving them to be read by the darkness of times. So we So all of that greatness can live within us, begins to live in them. And we can know the operations of this course. And we created these great big monuments so we wouldn't forget. So we could read ancient materials and know in the darkest times why we are here, what we're doing, the knowledge of good things. To be resolved into that which shall be great monuments, meaning be resolved in that. They knew. They told us. Go back. Remember. And every generation of living flesh, of fruit, seed, and all handcrafts, though they be lost, must of necessity be renewed by the renovation of gods and of the nature of the circle, moving in number, for it is a divine thing that every worldly temperature should be renewed by nature, for in that which is divine is nature also established. So we learned last week with vibration that the degree as to the matter of it is actually about temperature. That's why, guys, when my frequency gets going, when my vibes are up, I refer to it as the fire because of Thoth, the flame because it's temperature. All things are created in a different degree with that vibration and what degree of temperature it's at. I'm going to read this again. And every generation of living flesh, the fruit, seed, and all handcrafts, though they be lost, though we have no idea what those monuments mean anymore, though they be lost, must is a big word, must of necessity be renewed by the renovation of the gods. You are gods. Must, out of necessity, be renewed by the renovation of the gods and of the nature of the circle of life, every generation, us gods, them gods, the renewal, moving in number, masses, for it is a divine thing that every worldly temperature, so that's matter, that's frequency, all of it, for it is a divine thing that every worldly temperature should be renewed by nature. That means it all too, guys. That means renewed by Gaia, to renew Gaia on top of the laws of nature, the true nature of man that does not have sin because of the knowledge of good things. For in that which is divine is nature also established. I'm going to read that one last time. For it is the divine thing that every worldly temperature, vibration, matter should be renewed by nature, for in that which is divine is nature also established. So if we are of nature, we are also of the divine. As above, so below. As below, so above. The divine is in us. It is in the nature. It is in the nature, the laws of nature. It is in all of it. And our job, though they be lost, must out of necessity be renewed by the renovation of the gods, us, them, the divine in all nature. And of nature, moving in number, masses, for it is the divine thing that every worldly temperature should be renewed by nature, and for in that which is divine is nature also established. So this message can go on and on for me. That was a lot to take in on Friday, wasn't it? That was a lot to take in. Remember this. And the memory of the skilled works done upon earth, leaving them to be read by the darkness of times. The divine's great works are you, is you. As above, so below. As below, so above. I love you all so much. I take it very, clearly I care about this. Clearly I care. It's the only reason I'm here. It's the only reason I'm here. So I'm probably going to stop talking because I can just babble about this one a great deal. It is my sole purpose. It's the only purpose I'm here. It's really the only purpose that we're all here is humanity, to take care of humanity, to acknowledge that there is no separation, and to care for the planet. I mean, galactically, guys, man, she is why all this is going on. She is why sin, quote unquote, or 3D, or the devil, or however you want to look at it. She is why that game started. She is why the galactic game started. She is the most precious in, at least in this cosmos, she is the most precious. This is why we are here, for her. And I know that's why I'm here. How we go about it is different for everybody. Some it is the science and the sustainability and how we change and heal her and take care of her and, all of it. Healing the water, doing some of it is for that. For me, I know that our frequency is attached to her. As above, so below. As below, so above. That's even in our own little sphere that's surrounded by air. There's multiple layers to this. So my job is to help people understand. Let's wake up, folks. Remember, you're a God too. Get your frequency up, get those vibes up, because I know if we do that, we're healing her. And that's really what I care about. I mean, I do care about humanity, of course, but there's no separation. So that's my job. Others, we all have a job. We do. We all have a job. Some of it is to, um, but it's all related to her because we are connected to her. As above, so below. As below, so above. In our own little sphere of wonderment and gravity here. So, and then layers upon that. So I love you all so very much. What a glorious weekend. If you're new here, welcome. Welcome to Stars of the Morning Light. Oh my goodness. Subscribe if you're ready for it, let me tell you. And if this resonated with any of you, please leave a comment, hit the like button, please share it out. And blessed be to all of you, you beautiful stars that hold the ideals of the gods. Blessed be to all of you. I love you so much. I bow to you. Namaste, because the divine in me sees the divine in you. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'll see you on the flip side. I will be here Wednesday live at 2 p.m., but I will not be here next Friday. So wish me luck. New Earth Energy Market. New Earth Energy. It's what we're creating. That's what we're doing. It's what we're proposing for other people to start inheriting their birthright as original humans that live at a much higher frequency. So I love you all so dearly. I will catch you later on the flip side. Have a great weekend, guys.